Day of getting in on some rain. Now, not everybody will see rain today, but the areas that do get it, consider yourself lucky because we're getting some much needed rain this week. So this is a live look at our First Alert Weather Network radar. We can zoom in here at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport, seeing some spotty showers near St. George, Prairieville. We had a little shower move through Denham Springs, Zachary, but the bulk of the activity is actually up towards the east near I-55. Good storm moving through Independence, headed towards Amite, moving northward, but very sporadic shower and storm activity at this hour. Down towards the south, you'll notice those storms that pop up near the coast make their way inland and then continue to pop up further inland as they move up towards the north. So that's kind of the pattern that we're seeing this morning. So through the afternoon, we'll likely continue to see that. Showers, maybe a storm or two popping up near the coast and then traveling northward, moving inland with the southerly breeze. But by the time we get into the afternoon, so say 2:30, 3 o'clock, our typical peak daytime heating hour, I'd expect coverage to kind of increase a good bit. So more widespread, but still keeping it on the scattered end. Not everybody will get in on some rain today through the afternoon and then lingering into the evening. So here's 6 o'clock. The model still showing one or two few showers or storms still in the vicinity. Then once we get after dark, we'll likely see anything that did develop, dissipate, and will trend drier into the late evening and overnight hours. But we've got rain chances in the forecast through the rest of the work week. And that does include Easter weekend, Saturday and Sunday rain chances posted at 50%. So go ahead and keep in mind that you may need a plan B or a contingency plan if you have any outdoor plans scheduled for either Saturday or Sunday, but not looking like a complete washout as of now. But why are we talking about rain chances every single day? Well, the setup is that we have a high pressure up towards the north and east. Winds go clockwise around that, so that's pushing moisture over the Gulf into the southeast. So we're going to continue to pump in that moisture throughout the rest of the work week, prompting daily scattered showers or storms. But by the time we get into Easter weekend, so Saturday, we're actually tracking a cool front approaching that could spark up some showers or storms for both Saturday and Sunday. So here's Sunday. Even though the cold front moves through, it looks like right now, timing-wise, early Sunday, we actually don't get that moisture to move out of the area until Friday. So that's why we're still talking about the potential for some rain throughout the day on Easter Sunday. So I'll show you this. Now, remember, we're still several days out, so the timing is likely going to change. And as we get our high resolution models, we'll be able to pinpoint the timing a little bit better. But right now, this is what model guidance is showing. Showers and storms developing out ahead of that cold front into Saturday afternoon. Then it makes its way through. It looks like very early Sunday morning it'll approach the area, and then because the moisture doesn't completely move out of the state, we're still talking about some overrunning, so some moisture lingering behind the cold front, even though it is expected to move through earlier in the day on Sunday. Then we'll get the northerly wind behind it, moving in the cooler and drier air for Sunday. So again, as we get closer, we'll be able to pinpoint that timing a little bit better as we head towards the weekend. But much needed rainfall through the next 7 days. The Weather Prediction Center is showing totals averaging around 1.25 inches to upwards of 2 inches. And of course, we could see some locally higher amounts in some of those storms, but much needed rainfall across the entire state of Louisiana, including us in southeast Louisiana. But live look outside in our Sky 9 camera. This is on top of LaBerge, facing the Mississippi River. A good mixture of some blue skies and white puffy clouds. That's a good signal that we've got the moisture in place, and you could certainly feel it if you step outside. We're already warm. Already 81 degrees at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport, 79 in New Road, so getting close to the 80-degree mark there, 77 in Gonzales, 73 over in Hammond, so already nice and warm, already have the humidity, and again, some places are already seeing some of those scattered showers and or storms at this hour. So coverage will increase through the afternoon, especially around 3, 4 o'clock into the early evening hours. It will get warm. Temperatures are expected to climb to the mid-80s today, so warm and humid, kind of feeling close to our typical summertime pattern, but we're not quite to the 90s yet. We're not talking about 90s, but once we get into the evening, temperatures will slowly fall back into the low 70s and 60s, and then that coverage and the rain chances will also start to diminish as we get into the evening. So baseball at the box is tonight. First pitch is set for 6:30, and it's not against Kentucky. I meant to change that. It's actually against Southern, but temperature-wise, starting out into the upper 70s, getting into the low 70s, and I think We'll have to watch to see where the storms pop up around 6:30, 6 o'clock to see if there's any lightning in the vicinity. But for the most part, rain chances that are around should start to diminish as we get into the evening hours. So I think it'll be a close call, but for the most part, I think we should be good to go for baseball at the box tonight. The other thing to watch for tonight, going into tomorrow morning, we're talking about heat, we're talking about humidity, is the potential for some patchy fog developing overnight into early tomorrow morning. It doesn't look like a widespread threat, but certainly could run into some areas of dense fog for the morning commute. So keep that in mind. May want to give yourself some extra time in the morning so that you can be careful on the